ready to go.
What's
How
going
you
on, Big
feel?
O? How are you?
A little better.
A little
Hanging.
better? Good.
Yeah, a little better. So able to do the show, which is good. So we'll rock on like we always do. Good game today. Good bounce back game overall for McDaniel. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this was a get right game. This was a get healthy game. I like the fact that Tyreek didn't play. It looked like warm-ups. He was able to go. You would have sent a whole message to the league that we need Tyreek at any percentage because he's our whole offense. But you showed that you had enough offense. Actually, plenty of it. 30 points is a nice put up there. Defense really took over the game because obviously there was no offense on the other side of the ball. But my favorite thing about this game was Mike McDaniel. We talk about him not wanting to run the ball. He ran the ball plenty. And I've spoken about how Mike hasn't really, Mike has made some really bonehead fourth down calls. And he
Situationally.
actually,
Situationally.
situationally, and in
That's
this
where he
game,
struggles. Yes.
this game he got into the red zone and he, they faked a fourth down like they were going to go for it and just left with points, man. I'd rather have 10 points out of two drives going to the red zone than
Amen.
leaving with seven or less than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
14 would be nice. Seven is great. 10 is really, really awesome. Especially if you get one, you hit one. And if you're moving at that pace and you leave, if you come away with zero, your mentality all kind of shifts, right? If you leave with three, you're kind of like, okay, we're gonna go back down there. We're gonna go get seven more. You know what I mean? I think the
Yeah.
mentality kind of changes, and that's why I like the fact that he went for points and left with points.
What if I you look at the offense now, right? Without Tyreek this week. And with Tyreek, it's kind of it's a Bitcoin offense.
Yeah,
Let me explain it to you. Okay? Because you don't have any Bitcoin, right? You don't know anything about crypto, right?
I have a couple. I have a couple.
You do? You
Yeah, I know a
do.
little bit about. I know a little bit about Bitcoin.
Okay. Oh, wow. I'm surprised. You have crypto. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so one of the things that Bitcoin, before all of this now that's coming, all the institutional money, and now that that everybody is coming in now on it, it's not going to have the same volatility.
Yeah.
But before that, we've had extreme volatility going up to 67,000, down to 40,
Hmm.
down to 16. Now we're back up to 42, 43, and it's going to go now forever because now institutional and now general absorption of it in our lives is coming in. So it's going to be used every day. With the offense with Tyreek, it's very Bitcoinish. Yeah, it's explosive, but it can be volatile
Hmm.
because there are mistakes that are made in it at times. And but then you took Tyreek out, and it seemed like the offense took less chances, and it was a little bit more fundamentally sound. So, do we need to kind of tweak a little bit here? A little bit of what you saw today, a little bit less of what you've seen in the past, kind of mix it in because with Tyreek, there seems to be this edge of cockiness that kind of gets them in trouble at times. Where today they weren't trying so many cute things. Your thoughts on that?
I think that's a an assessment, definitely with some credit for sure. I could understand how Tyreek's playmaking ability and being so dynamic and so explosive and so one of a kind, and that when he makes plays, you just become enamored with the possibility of all the plays that he can make. It's really, really easy for Mike McDaniel to fall in love with that, right? Today was the first game Tyreek didn't play since he became a Dolphin, and going back to 2020. The
Yep.
Chiefs got into the playoffs. They didn't have to play the Chargers in the last week of the season. They gave Tyreek the week off. So you're looking at a span of 30, 47, almost 50 games Tyreek Hill has played consecutively. More than 50 when you count playoffs, when he was doing with the Chiefs. He's been a fixture in every lineup he's been in. He's been depended on to do exactly what he's doing here in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can imagine when Mike has game plans surrounded around a player with one foot in the Hall of Fame, how it would look last week against the Titans. And then you have him a week to prepare, and he's going without Hill all week. And mind you, Tyreek was on the field pregame running a bunch of routes, dancing pregame. He could have went. He looked good, but a week of no practice did well for Tyreek Hill, and a game where he came out and didn't re-injure himself again did even better. This was a get right game. This was a get healthy game, and in my opinion, it was the right move for them to make. Now,
Oh,
obviously, you don't wanna say like, okay, you're gonna sit this and that, but it was the right move for the Dolphins to make, man. They're not gonna win the Super Bowl against the Jets this week. You're gonna win it against everybody else the
brother,
rest of the year.
if you need Tyreek to beat the Jets, you're not a good coach. You're not a good coach.
I
That's
agree.
all. It would have been an incredible indictment on Mike McDaniel today.
Well,
If
not just him, everybody on the team. It'd have been
nah,
Tua, it'd have been Waddle, it'd have been everybody on the team. All those
I'm
linemen, the running backs.
blaming him. If he can't have his team ready for this shitty offense,
Definitely.
okay. I mean, Zach the MILF Wilson has no business
Why you call that,
scoring
Lego?
on this team. Come on, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
give me a break. You know
Well,
what
he
I'm saying?
didn't. He got
You didn't
knocked
need
out the game.
Huh?
And he got knocked out the game because of it, you know?
Did he really get knocked out, or did he just say, "Yeah, I've had enough of this"?
He got knocked out the game, man. That's what Bradley Chubb did. There was a full Chubb out on the field here today. 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery from Bradley Chubb.
From the
Jalen,
Giants game on, from the Giants, was the Giants before Carolina or Carolina before the Giants?
I
I forgot.
lost count. Yeah, me too.
Whichever one of those was first, that's where the Chubb turned.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't give him that much credit because they were two shitty teams.
Yeah.
But he played great, and then he kept it going. Since those games, he's been a freaking stud and a half
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
since that game on. And
No.
that was really cool to see because I remember us talking about, hey man, Bradley Chubb the last 2 weeks and this and that. Oh, but it's the shitty teams, it's that. Then he started playing a couple of other better teams, and he started making, the same kind of impactful plays all over the place. He's
Yeah.
been awesome.
He's been great. He's really held it together. The performance today was outstanding. And you got to give credit to not just him, but the rest of the guys too. Andrew Van Ginkel had a play in coverage today by the sideline that was incredible.
Yeah.
Wilkins was in the backfield plenty.
Sealer?
But Sealer's always in the backfield 2 straight weeks where he's in the other team's red zone and he's making a play for you. He's getting you in the red zone with a defensive stop. Sealer's playing really well, man. These guys are playing well. I wish they had Phillips. I think that if they had Phillips and they had Baker, Super Bowl for sure. I'm just worried about those guys, the middle of the field kind of thing. You have anybody that kind of takes the middle of the field. Like you go to Dallas next week coming in. Dak and Jake Ferguson could have a field day in the middle with that tight end. So certain things I'm worried about in that regard. I'm worried about Robert Hunt and I'm worried about Javon Holland. It's been a couple weeks since we've seen both those guys. Maybe this was a game for them to get right as well with the last 3 coming up. But this was a win that you needed to have badly. And you would have lost this one. You could have called the season goodbye, man.
Oh, for sure. Well, not goodbye, but it would have been a real depression for sure.
The depression is the right word. Yes.
You could not lose this. No, there was no way you could lose this game. All right, I'll let you go with this. Your professional opinion, your educated opinion here. Who do the Dolphins get back that was injured this week for next week for Dallas? Tyreek.
10.
Go.
Yeah, 10. They're going to get 10 back. I'm not sure how far along Hunt is and Holland is a situation. They didn't have Howard in this game. I think Howard plays next week. Had a hip injury from the game last week. Outside of that, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure who they do anything for IR because you might want to keep that for Baker if he's close. And that could be end of the season kind of thing. But they're going to need Hill. They're going to need Hill, and they're going to need him fast and him being explosive as he is. And hey, man, this was a great game for not. I know it's the last question, sorry, but Teron came out healthy. Eichenberg pushed the play, came out healthy, and he started. So those guys didn't leave the game with injuries. Austin Jackson had an oblique, and he came out the game in the second half. Didn't play in the second half. So good on the Dolphins there for keeping him out and not forcing him to play a little bit more. This was a get right and get healthy game, and now everything's on the table for the rest of the year, man.
You played with an entire backup line. 1 or 2 of those guys might be third stringers, and you played against a good defensive front, and you won the game. That's
Yeah.
that's pretty good freaking coaching, bro.
Yeah.
Your
No.
quarterback, and they only gave up 2 sacks. One of them I blame. The third one I blame on Tua. I believe it was the first one. He held it way too long. I was like, "Yo, let it go!"
Yeah.
And
I was just something to see too. I just wanted to see the
yeah,
play, you know.
that's gonna happen. A little brain fart
Definitely.
in this league. You just reset for just a half second. They're
Yeah.
on you, bro. It's over.
And
You don't get the next view, bro.
I agree. I agree. This was a game they could have played with their food with a little bit, and they didn't. And I did like the fact that Tua got pulled after his last sack as well too.
Yeah.
Up 30, get him out the game. 8 minutes left. The job was done. You know.
Yeah. I'm with you there. All right, what do you got going on in the USA today?
Yeah. Just going back off my theme. This was a get right game for the Dolphins. Get right and get healthy. So I wrote about that. And Jets, man, 13 years straight, no playoffs, no NBA, no NFL, no MLB, no NHL team. It's the longest drought in American sports. The New York Jets um, to not make the playoffs. So got that going on as well too, and
I
excited
think
for next week, man.
I think that's a rite of passage for them. Really,
Yeah, I mean,
it's something
hopefully
they take pride in that. There, you know, they love to lose in New York. Yeah,
the Jets are going to make it 14 because they're going to run it back with Aaron Rodgers and be in the same situation next year.
the Jets
You
right
heard it
now,
here first.
Giuliani with black ink running down his face right there. You know, so that's what's going on right now. They're just as useful as Giuliani right now. At this point. All right, follow him on Twitter at Safid_Deen and catch his work there at the USA Today. We will catch up on Tuesday, my friend. Thank you, sir.
See you soon, Big O. Thank you.
Got it. BaptistHealth.net/ortho. Folks, if you got an injury that's keeping you from doing what you love, take charge of your health and get back into the game with the help of the all-pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. And we've got a hospital right there where Hard Rock Stadium is. Brand new hospital. Not just for the players. If you live close by and you need it, you go by there, man. Got the main hospital in 89th and Kendall. Lord knows I've been there a lot. Our friends up in Boynton Beach, Bethesda East and West. Our friends in Boca Regional, 800 Meadows Drive. Down in Homestead, Mariners Hospital, Tavernier Key, Marathon Key, Fisherman's Hospital. In Homestead, it's at 975 Baptist Way, folks. Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, 5000 University Drive in Coral Gables. Go to baptisthealth.net/ortho or use that QR code.